Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today, as promised in one of our other videos, we have the 1948 1-cent coin from the country of Canada. And before we magnify it or blow it up a little bit, we'll see that there's two other coins up here, two 1947 coins, and hence the story of the 1948 coin, kind of the origin story. In 1947, India gained its independence. And that was a problem for Canada because on their coins, they said that the King George VI was the Emperor of India. And so they had to change the coins. And so what they did in 1947 was they made the regular 1947, and you can see it here. And then they made another 1947 to carry them over until 1948. And they put a little maple leaf behind the 7. So you can see that. And we talked about this in one of our other coin videos. Then in 1948, they came up with the new engraving. And again, the back is the same engraving without the little extra maple leaf on it. And that's the George Kruger Gray, famous George Kruger Gray engraving. But then on the front, they changed it up. Not completely, but they changed it up quite a bit. It's still the Thomas Humphrey Paget engraving of George VI facing to the left, but what they did was, so you can see the HP down there at the bottom, below the base of his neck. This one says George VI, King, or by the grace of God, King. Dea Gratia, by the grace of God, King, which is Rex in Latin. And that was different because they took the DG, Rex, et, ind, imp off. So what they did was they kept pretty much the same Thomas Humphrey Paget engraving of the head of George VI, and they changed the outer writing to make it Dea Gratia Rex. Now, they did something else interesting when they did that, and that is when they did that, they took if you look at this says 1948. What they did in 1948, unfortunately, was when they went to mint these, they messed up or changed up midstream. So see how this A here goes straight across and right into the denticle there? These little dents around the outer rim here are called denticles. They almost look like a tooth from a gear of some kind. Well, in 1948, when they made this, they made one version which points straight to the denticle, and then they made another version, and I'll show you here, where the A points in between the two. So you see how this A, if you follow it straight out, it goes between those two lines? On this one, the A, if you follow it out, is actually centered on that line. So these are the two versions of the 1948 1-cent coin. The between the denticles here and the centered on the denticles here. So not only did they take out the Emperor of India, but they also did for some reason, two different die casts on this. And one of them, the A kind of goes between the two lines, and on this one it's centered exactly. Now these are recognized coins by the coin authorities, including Coins in Canada and Numista. But this is a variety of the coin. So in 1948, we have two different varieties, the between the denticles and the centered on the denticle variety. And the centered on the denticle, this one is a little bit more expensive. It's probably worth about $1 or so, and this one's probably worth about 50 cents or so. It's somewhere in that range. And if you want to look on Numista, Numista, or look on the Coins in Canada website for these particular coins, the 1 cent 1948 from Canada, and you'll see these. Now, what other characteristics do they have? Well, it's a bronze coin, which means it's 98% copper, 0.05% something else, SN, and 0.15% zinc. So the way that and they put a couple different varieties of this coin together. In other words, sometimes they have different mixtures in there. If somebody can tell me what SN is, so I don't have to look it up, that would be great. But there's 0.05% of that in the bronze, 98% copper, and 0.015% zinc. So when we add it all up, we have a coin that's 19.05 millimeters in diameter, 3.24 millimeters thick. We have two different 1948 versions, and none of the 1948 versions say Emperor of India, because in 1948, following the independence of India and the creation of Dominion status for India and Pakistan, George VI was no longer the Emperor of India. All right. Have a great day from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Please feel free to leave any comments in the comment section, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel if you like Canadian or other world coin videos.